box is only 4 kitchen tiles away, but I can't move. I can feel the mold infecting parts of me. The life in me will be eaten by it before I get there. I missed the opportunity to be united with a human and go to heavens of consciousness. And yet, if I could go back in time, I would have done the same thing. I'll try to go there. I regret nothing. But why did she have to go? Dante asked. Well, she just turned 4 room temperature days today, so I think she's ripe enough. She also good looking. To be honest, I saw that coming since the beginning. You know, the human of this basket is a good person. He makes sure that everyone in here is going to be eaten. When apples get eaten, we'll enter the gate of heaven in the human stomach. Acidic rivers will flood us, and we will be united with the human cells, old Angelo answered. And what will happen next? The apple Lisa asked. Well, our fibers are not good enough to realize the beauty of heavens. Some say that when you unite with the human, you will be able to experience flashes of emotions and consciousness, old Angelo answered. And what is that? Apple Lisa asked. It is said that it's the highest stage of awareness. Of course, we won't be able to feel as humans do, but we will get flashes after we dissolve and get united with the human body, old Angelo said. Flashes? That's it? Dante is resentful. That's more than enough, Dante. That's why it's called heaven. In fact, I cannot wait to be eaten. Tomorrow I will have already completed my 5th day of room temperature. I sure hope I don't stay here long enough and end up in the fridge or the blender, old Angelo said. Lisa remained silent after she understood old Angelo's words clearly. Her 3 days old room temperature peel was shining. I don't want to be eaten, Dante, the 2 days old of room temperature apple said. I believe that we, apples, are more than just a meal for humans. I cannot imagine happiness or a meaning in this short period of life just to end up as meals, he said. What if those flashes of consciousness were just an illusion? We have been taught this on farms, factories and shops, but no one is sure if this is true or not. I mean, no one ever came back to confirm, Dante said. Enough talking, Dante. That's a sin, old Angelo interrupted Dante. A sin against whom? Dante asked. Against us, apples, Angelo answered. Dante remained silent. We, after all, are living beings. Life, in its various forms, is the greatest thing in this existence, Angelo continued. If you are not lucky enough to be eaten, you will eventually get moldy and lose all chances of decomposing in a human stomach. The mold will eat the life inside of you, and you will be cast into nothingness, in the point of no return. We sure are lucky to be eaten by humans. I cannot see a better meaning for our lives than this. Dante said nothing. He was upset because Lana had been eaten on the morning of her 4th day of room temperature. He had a great time with her on his 1st day and half of his 2nd of room temperature. So great that he couldn't bear the thought of it having to go away. He has been repeatedly told about the beauty of the apple life cycle and the noble value behind being a meal, yet he was never satisfied with that. On the night of his 3rd day of room temperature, he was unable to sleep. The fact that you cannot sleep right now will make you an easy target for the mold fungus. Who is this? Dante asked after hearing that voice for the first time. My name is Enkidu. I'm an artificial apple. But how? How can you speak when you are not a living being? Dante is shocked. Well, we could say that life is more than what you have been told on the farm, the artificial apple said. You always knew. That's why you can't sleep, he continued. I don't think I'll be able to sleep again. This will definitely speed up my rot process. But I don't seek control over what I do, as if I'm not in control of who I am anymore, Dante said. No, you have control, Enkidu said. I wouldn't condemn myself rotten. I mean, I'm a yellow-greenish apple. I'm a delicious apple after all, Dante said with a tone of hesitation. Well, I cannot help you with that, and also I cannot promise you that you won't end up in nothingness, Enkidu explained. What do you mean? Dante asked. Well, what the old man told you is somewhat true, but he didn't mention the full details. After decomposing in the human body, life is also taken from you, and you will turn into waste. We don't know if this waste gets any flashes of consciousness, but we are sure it's not a living thing anymore. Dante laughed. He kept laughing hysterically, which made Enkidu surprised. Have you lost your mind? Enkidu asked. Quite the opposite, Dante answered. I understand everything now. I get it very clearly. We are being punished here. We are already in hell, waiting to be doomed forever into nothingness. And there is nothing we can do to change that. Everything was planned from the start. I knew about this. I was happy to have Lana by my side, but I couldn't stop thinking that something was off. I knew everything since the beginning. The happiness I felt was part of my punishment. I don't know what I'm getting punished for, but I'm absolutely certain that what is happening around me is a punishment. I knew that. Dante's words lit a long extinguished flame in Enkidu's eyes. He knew that Dante was not an ordinary apple, and that's why he chose to talk to him after a silence that lasted for 1,000 of room temperature days. Go to the cat letterbox, he said. Huh? Dante exclaimed. Enter the cat letterbox. You might find the answer there. I don't know if you will get there before you rot, but it's worth a try, Enkidu said. What do you mean? Crap? Answers? How is that possible? Dante didn't understand. Enkidu didn't say anything after. Apples can't walk, but on the morning of his 3rd day of room temperature, Dante is determined to go to the letterbox. Dante told old Angelo about Enkidu before he was eaten on the morning of his 6th day of room temperature. There is now only Dante, Lisa, and the artificial apple in the fruit basket. And on the morning of Dante's 4th day of room temperature, after he'd spent 2 whole nights trying, Dante succeeded cleverly to find a way out of the fruit basket by changing the smell of his pheromones to resemble the dry food smell of the cat Britta. The cat climbs up the fruit basket and tries to pick Dante, who smells like a cat food now. The cat's saliva covering Dante is full of germs that attract mold. The cat managed to catch Dante and moved him out of the basket. Dante is now closer reaching the letterbox. Britta kept moving Dante across the kitchen floor, but she would never put him in that letterbox. Dante's greenish color has turned yellow and his outer peel is becoming soft. The cat stopped moving him randomly after playing with him since he stopped smelling like a cat food. He could no longer do that after he got old and his outer peel was wounded because of the cat fangs and claws. Apples cannot walk nor communicate with other living creatures. Dante was sure that he was going to die, but he did not regret what he did. If he had gone back in time, he would have done it again. Maybe Dante was born this way. He cannot change that. On the evening of his 5th day of room temperature, Dante was laying on the kitchen floor, already molded. He was slowly waiting for his death until he heard a voice he had never heard before. You're going to die. Enkidu? Dante asked. I'm Britta, the cat. Can cat talk to apples? Dante asked. Britta, can you take me to your letterbox, please? He begged. No, I can't, the cat said. Why? Is it forbidden for apples? He asked. Not exactly, but because you're already done. You're about to die, the cat answered. Is that so? Dante's tired. It seems that nothingness awaits all of us in the end, he said. I will help you. That's why I'm here talking to you, the cat told Dante. I can move you to the fridge. You will be cooked into a jam, and you will be eaten eventually. You will lose your life in the process, but you might get flashes of consciousness in the end. Why me? Dante asked. You have a choice, Britta followed her words. What will happen if I refused? Dante asked. You will turn into an artificial apple. Apples cannot rot in this house, but you will turn into an object, and thus nothingness, Britta warned him. Dante laughed in a despairing tone. He said, Do I really have a choice?